its principals in Germany. And the German who was responsible for Africa and Middle East would make an annual tour of the territory that he was responsible for. And he would come to Ghana and spend 3 days. 3 days being arrival one evening, a full day with us in the office. The next day, he's waiting for his flight to go. And he could get very, very impatient with his wanting to leave. Then we go to a conference and discovered that our colleague from South Africa was telling us that this same man who comes to Ghana and cannot wait to get into a plane and fly out goes to South Africa and spends 1.5 weeks there. Now, we looked at the numbers. Our numbers were not that bad. It was compared to South Africa. It is not as if you could say that, oh, he's doing a lot of business in South Africa, so it's understand. So we asked the young man, tell us something. What happens? Then he asked us, when this guy comes to you, what do you do for him? So, well, we get him the best hotel. There's a car at his beck and call. He said, no. He works hard the whole year. When he comes to Africa, he wants a place to relax. He wants fun. So where do you take him? And our answer was that nowhere to take him. No, really. If you hosted somebody from abroad who does not drink, where are you going to take him? If the person drinks, there are lots of drinking spots.
Plenty.
But if the person doesn't drink, where are you taking him? Our hotels are full. The flights coming to the country are full. And then we welcome the people, take them to the hotel, leave them there. Then come for them the next day, take them to the office. Then at about 4:30, bring them back and leave them there for the next day. Our man was not interested in Ghana because we didn't have anything to offer him. And I have seen this figure, that the data they gave, the contribution of creative sector to the economy and all that. And I'm here to tell anybody that stop believing. That is what is. That is what is, because we are not interested in growing anything in this country. But I can tell anyone who cares to listen that nothing will compare with the creative sector if we are given the right attention. Yeah. Nothing. No sector, not cocoa, not gold, not oil, nothing.
That's it.
Nothing. At any rate, we have already heard of rejection of our cocoa.
Because it's contaminated.
Gold, what's gold doing to our environment? You said you went around and you almost cried. I know that last thing that made you cry, it had to be a woman, but one of my mentees, who is based in the UK, came down with his friends, and he did well. He mobilized about 8 of his colleagues he works with the British Airways, and got all of them to take their leave at about the same time and said, I'm going to show you my country. We have things here. So they all came. And they decided we're going to go to the Boti Falls. So got a good car, drove all the way to Boti Falls, got there, saw the falls and things like that, and said, okay, now we can go. Let's get into the car. And they said, oh, hang on. What's wrong with you people? You mean we made all this trip just to see this and go back? They told him, if we had this thing where I come from, there's no way you will spend less than 2 hours here. We would make sure you spend not less than 2 hours here. We have come here, and there wasn't even an eating space, a place they could buy food. So they had to drive to another town to buy food. It's not going to happen. Is that the amusement parks, merchandise shops, and things like that? Is that 2 hours? You haven't finished seeing what we want you to see, so you spend more money here. It hasn't happened. But I am one of those people who is very optimistic about Ghana. Very optimistic about Ghana, because I've seen Ghana over the years. And I can see this is a nation that can only get better. Ghana is young. There are people who say that, oh, after 60 years, I'm older than Ghana. That's the truth. In terms, when the Queen died, there were buildings, they were given the history of some of the chapels they took her. And this is a 3,000-year-old building and that kind of thing. How old is the EPL? EPL is hundreds of years. Ghana, our oldest team is House of Folk. House of Folk is how old? It's at 121 something. The point I'm making is that Ghana is a very young country. In terms